So there is one more faster way of finding prime number, wherein so I know that a number which goes in 1 and in itself is a prime number, correct? So each number will divide by the green portion. If any number divides by the blue portion, that number is not a prime number straight away. So if I have to tell 8 is prime or not, directly if 8 divides by 2 and I get the remainder as 0, so I will say that very moment I will stop the iteration and declare 8 as a non-prime, correct? No need to check with 3, 4, 5, 6. So how we do that? So for that we will require a flag variable. So to understand the concept of flag variable, think of this. Okay, so this is a corridor, and on this corridor you have two classes, or let's say at the end of the corridor is the class. And, so one lecture in a semester is taken by the HOD, correct? The HOD takes a lecture. So in one semester at least one lecture the HOD will take. So, and she is very strict, and any student who enters the classroom after the HOD has entered, she embarrasses such students. So just besides, so this is the wall of the corridor, and in this wall there is a window. There's a window over here. So this is the door, and this is the window. So there are two friends in a class, A and B. So what they have decided is that they will sit near the window. Okay, so this is the window. And okay, so let me mark the window. So this is the window. Yeah. So this brown color is the window, and this is the blackboard. And all the students they sit facing the blackboard. These are the benches which are arranged like this. Benches are arranged like this, 3 rows, and they are facing the blackboard. Something of this nature, the arrangement is there. What they have decided is the friends that when they will carry a red color handkerchief in their pocket, and whenever the HOD will enter the classroom, they will drop the handkerchief on the corridor through the window. Get it? So whenever the second friend will come, he will look at the handkerchief. So second friend is coming, he is climbing the staircase. He is climbing the staircase. When he reaches the corridor and he sees the handkerchief lying on the corridor, means what? HOD has entered the classroom. So this second friend will go back from the window only. He will not loiter around in the corridor. From here only he will go back. Right? And if he comes up and he sees there is no handkerchief on the corridor, then directly he will run and come in the classroom. Correct? So the handkerchief has two places. What are the two places the handkerchief has? Either on the corridor or in the friend's pocket. Correct? Either in the friend's pocket or in the corridor. If it is in the friend's pocket, means HOD has not come. And if it is on the corridor, means getting it. So this handkerchief is working as a flag. This handkerchief you can visualize as a flag variable. So we wait for a condition, and then once the condition is achieved or a condition has been triggered, you set the flag. Okay, so let's say the HOD's session is from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is her timing. But as HOD, she is busy with other administration jobs also. So at times she comes at 10:10. At times she comes at 10:20. At times she doesn't come at all, right? But the students have to be present in class. So if it is 10:07 and the HOD has not come, so students, those who are coming in the staircase, they are apprehensive. They are in doubt whether the lecture has started or not started. So if they go in the class and on that day HOD has come on time at 10 a.m., what will happen? She will embarrass these students. So for this, to save themselves from this embarrassment, they have come up with this logic that a friend will sit at the one person will sit at the window, and whenever the HOD enters the class, he will throw a red handkerchief on the floor. That's it. So now any subsequent student coming will just look at the handkerchief and will directly go back. Correct? So that day the HOD came in the class at 10:07. Okay? 10:07 the HOD came in the class. So now my question is, what is the situation of the handkerchief at 10 o'clock? Pocket or corridor? What is the situation at 10:01, 10:02, 10:03, 4, 5 and then 7? So once this is said, now people will see that it is on the corridor, means now you need to. So any student who is coming at 10:05, if 10:05 a student is coming in the class, can he come in? Yeah. So just think of this handkerchief as your flag variable. So what I will do is, I will run a loop from where? From 2 to n minus 1. And I will try to mod that number with the iteration. And if it gets mod divided anywhere, I will immediately set the flag. I will immediately, and I will break the loop. And then after the loop, I will check the value of the flag. If it is set, the number is not a prime number. If it is unset, number is prime number. Correct? So this is what I am trying to achieve now. So if I come here, so let's start, and if we have an existing code, we can take that for the time being. Okay, at least we can take this much. Okay. So are you able to see my notepad screen? So I have an n as of now. Let's take this n and we'll accept that from the user. Enter a number. Okay. And I'll scanf that and put it in a variable called as n. So now my n has, let's say, 7. So I'll take a loop also, for that I'll require I. Loop will go from where? To 2. No, they were using the flag logic. So 2 to 2 less than n will do. Okay. And I'll also require a flag variable. Okay. So that will be an integer flag. So my flag will have two values, 1 and 0. We'll have only what? So 0 means the handkerchief is in the pocket. 0 means the handkerchief is in the, so initialize to pocket, right? So initially the handkerchief will be in the pocket, correct? So flag 0 means where is the handkerchief? Pocket. So now I will come here and I will check with each if my n mods with I, that is with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if the remainder becomes 0 at any position, means that number is not a prime number. So in the pocket main, I am assuming it is not prime. By default, what is my assumption? Number is a prime. Number is a prime number. What am I assuming by default? Okay. So now once I come to know that it has divided, means it is not a prime number. So I set the flag to 1. And I put the message over there. Printf. Okay, you can just put it later on also. And I will break. I will do what? No need to go ahead, right? So if I'm looking for 8 and 8 directly mods with 2 and I get the remainder as 0, will I check with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? So what am I doing over here? If your n is mod with I and you're getting the remainder as 0, means that number is not a. So set the flag to 1 and break the loop. And now come outside the loop and check the value of the flag. If the flag was 0 till the end, so if the flag is 1, what? And if it is 0 means not a prime. And else it's a prime. So simple usage of your flag you can do over here. And now you can close main also. Let's try to run this. Let's try to. Are you able to see my compiler screen? Let's run it. And now ask the user enter number. He will enter 8 and I will say what? And if I check for iteration count, then how many iterations it has taken? So I take integer iteration count initialize it to 0 and then just how many times this for loop is running, and each time I'll increment the IC plus plus. Okay, and here I can also display in how much iteration it is giving me the answer. So here I can say iteration count percentage d comma i's. Okay, so only in one iteration it will give me whether 8 is what happened. No semicolon. So now when I say 8, only in one iteration it is giving me that it is. Okay, if I want to check whether 9 is a prime or not, will start from 2, right? So 2 will not be mod, then again it will go to 3. So 3 it will be mod, right? So to check 9 is not prime, will take 2 iterations. 2 iterations, okay? So this is how we can use the flag variable in our programming. Got this? Okay, so today I also wanted to start with pattern programming. Very important to build your logic. If you want to make your logic very strong, we have some pattern programming. Like you've seen those programs wherein they ask you to print stars. Have you done that programming? So if I ask you to print the stars in this pattern, can you do it for me? Like this. Or if I ask you to print it in this pattern. So this helps to improve your logic tremendously. If you have a knack of solving pattern programs, very beneficial. Or I can replace them with numbers also. So this I can replace it with 1. I can replace it with 2, 2. And then I can replace it with 3, 3, 3, 3. So in respective the patterns, replace the stars with the numbers. So this also. So have you done such type of programming? So for this we will have to study nested for loop. What have to study? Nested means right? One inside the other. So if I have this for loop where I equal to 1, I less than equal to 3, I plus plus. This loop will run how many times? And if in that, if I print over here print this, how many times will it print St. Mary's? 3 times. Oh. And if I now say St. Mary's percentage D, comma I, now what will it display? St. Mary's 1, St. Mary's 2, St. Mary's 3. On the same line or different line? Same. Okay, now if I do this, then okay, very good. Now see, uh, if a person has 100 rupees in his pocket and he goes to a theater, and in the theater there are 3 dramas and 3 movies. How many? 3 dramas are there and 3 movies are there, and he has, let's say, 200 rupees he has. How much money does he have? 200. 200, yes. Okay. And in that theater is also a restaurant. That restaurant has 3 items, okay? Pizza, burger, and let's say sandwich. Each item costs 100 rupees. How much does each item cost? 100 rupees. And each drama ticket costs 100 rupees. And each movie ticket costs 100 rupees. Now he has to eat also and he has to entertain himself. He has to do both the tasks, eating also and entertaining also. Now, how many options does he have of eating and entertaining? So what all things can he do? So he can either eat one, he has to eat all of this, right? So let's say if he eats a pizza and then there are drama A, B, C and movie X, Y, Z. Now, now what? So he eats a pizza and now what option does he have out of these 6? What options does he have? Any one, right? So, so he'll have pizza and A, correct? Or pizza B, or pizza C, or pizza X, or pizza Y, pizza Z, right? Okay, now what if he has 300 rupees? Now what options does he have? He can eat only one item, okay? He can eat only one item. Only he can do only one at a time. One food item, one drama, one movie. Hmm. So now what options does he have? Hmm. So you can, so he can take pizza A and X, right? Or he can take pizza B and X. Or he can take pizza C and X, correct? This one permutation he can follow. Or he can take burger A and movie X. He can take burger, drama B and movie X, and burger. Okay, this also can be done, right? C and movie X. So you can have different permutations, right? So here if I try to add the permutation inside this. So now this was only one option. So if I had only this thing, so he had only three options, right? If he had 100 rupees and he had to buy a snack, so he had only three options. Here there was only one for loop. So how many times would Saint Mary's be displayed? Three times. So now I add the permutations for the movies now. So now if I say, so Saint Mary's is in Pune also, Mumbai also, and Delhi also. How many cities is Saint Mary's in? So I take an inner for loop Ji. Okay. And now I write over here printf percentage %d. Okay, I cite over here city percentage %d and I say j. Now what is the output of this? So now you have to check the values of the for loop variables. You have to understand that flow thoroughly. Now what is the value of I? I is 1, right? So I is 1. So I have a I variable, its value is 1. Is 1 less than equal to 3? Is 1 less than equal to 3? It is true. So it will come inside the for loop now. And then what will it display over there? This is my output. It will display Saint Mary's. Okay, now it has not gone in the for loop yet. No. Now it will go in the for. No, this for loop now. It will not display 1 yet. So now it will come in this. Now what is the value of j? Okay, I don't want to display that one. Okay, sorry. Then okay, for this I have taken the next. For this I have taken the next one. Now it will display Saint Mary's only, correct? Now we'll have a new variable called j. Now what is the value of j? J is 1. J is 1. So what condition will you check now? Is 1 less than or equal to 3? True. Come inside and display what? City I. So what will display over here? Will display Saint Mary's of city 1, right? Then this loop will increment. The for which closes will increment first. So which for is closing? The black or the red? So it will go and increment the j. What will j become? 2. And what condition will you check now? Is 2 less than or equal to 3? What will it say? And then what will it display over there? So it will display on the same line, right? Saint Mary's is in city 2 also. And then again j will increment, j will become 3, and it will check for the condition is 3 less than equal to 3. It will say true. And what will you display? Saint Mary is in city 3 also, correct? And then j will become 4. Is 4 less than equal to 3? This will become false. This loop will terminate, and now this j will increment, and this j will become 2. This now this I will increment, right? I will become what? I will become 2. But I was 1 over here. See the ayat column. See the ayat column. So what was I? I was 1. Now I will become 2. And what will it check now is 2 less than equal to 3. True. Come inside what to display? On a new line, right? On a new line, St. Mary's. And now again it will come inside the for, and for again becomes 1. J again becomes 1. So J is initialized back to 1. Are you getting this? So again it will become city 1, 2 and 3. This will be displayed. And once this becomes 4, the loop will terminate. The inner loop will terminate when J becomes 4. And then this will increment to 3. And it will again check is 3 less than equal to 3. You will say true, and then it will again start from 1 to 4, this, and again this will display send. Okay, it will again display St. Mary city 1, city 2, city 3, correct? So like this you have to check out how nested for loops work. And now when your last iteration, when your I increments to 4, it will check is 4 less than equal to 4, is 4 less than equal to 3, the loop will terminate, and as the outer loop terminates, it will go at the end of the outer loop, correct? So now if I change this setting to, if I just change this setting over here, if I remove this 3, and if I put a I over here, what I put over there? Okay, this should have been J, huh? This should have been J. This should have been, this should have been J. Yeah, so if I put a I over there, now what do you think will happen? What output changes will be there? You should now be able to do this dry run. So first thing first, we'll come inside. Tell me what will happen now. What will it say? I value is, I is 1, right? I is 1. It will check 1 less than equal to 3. It will be true. It will display me St. Mary's. Okay. Next what? Next it will go inside. Next it will go inside, and then it will check for the value of J. J now. J is 1 again. J is 1, right? And now what are I checking? 1 less than equal to I. What is the value of I? 1 is less than equal to 1. What will it say? True. And it will come inside and display what? So you will display over here city 1, right? And then it will increment to 2. So what will you check? 2 less than equal to, so what will be? False. And this inner loop will terminate, and directly I'll go at the outer loop, and I will increment, I will become 2, right? And now again J will start from 1 again. So what will it check now? 1 less than equal to, value of I is 2 now. So 1 less than equal to 2. So true. Okay, once it goes, no, okay, now once it becomes 2 and it comes again, it will display St. Mary's. Once again on a new line, and then it will take the value of J. J becomes again 1. So what are we checking now over here is, so I is 2, so it will be true. So what will it display? City And then what will it increment? So we'll come to what will it check? And then city 2. And now J will become, so 3 less than equal to 2, false, loop will terminate, and I will become 3, and it will display what? Next line, and Mary's, and now J will become again, J will become 1, and now 1 less than equal to 3, true, so it will display city 1, city 2, city 3, correct? Getting it? So it is, the inner loop is going I times, the inner loop is going I times. So when the value of I was 1, the inner loop went once. When the value of I was 2, the inner loop went 2. And when the value of I was 3, the inner loop went 3. Correct? Okay. Now if I just do a small change and I put this J, I make it into a I. Now what do you think will happen? What do you think will change in the output? See, the value of I remains 1. This is city 1. Here the value of J becomes 1, 2, but the value of I remains 2. So it will be 2, 2. But I is 2, 2, right? So even for this J value I is 2, even for this J value I is 2, correct? And in the third iteration I becomes 3. So even for 1 it is 3, for 2 also it is 3, for 3 also it is 3, correct? The output will become city 3, 3. Are you getting? Aryan, this you have to understand. This when you will do practically, you'll understand better. After this, we'll go to the practical. So this you have to understand the concept very thoroughly. Like how it is. You got this? Why? How it came 333? So now let's try to do it practically. So let's take the basic vanilla flavor first. So, okay. So no need for, only I and J we will require, right? You want this program? So let me copy and paste it over here. After the session, I'll share it with you. Okay, so you share the screen. You see the screen? Okay. So I take integer I and j. That's all I require. So for I equals to 1, I less than equal to 3, I plus, and for j equals to 1, j less than equal to 3, and j plus I equal to 1, I 3, I. Yeah, we'll try all the permutations. We'll try all the flavors what we did not in the theory. We'll try the practical. Yeah, we'll try first, second, third, all St. Mary's, okay? On a new line. Okay. And here what are we trying to do is not new line, city percentage D, comma J. Right? So what is the output of this? Output of this is coming. St. Mary's city 1, city 2, 3, St. Mary's city 1, 2, 3, city 1, 2, 3, correct? And now as you told, change this to I. What will it become? St. Mary city 1, city 1 2, city 1 2. And now if I change this to I, city 1, city 2 2, city 3 3 3. Now if I remove all the extra stuff, now if I remove the extra stuff of St. Mary's, and if I remove the extra stuff of the city and just keep a space, and now if I run, I get this. Got it? I get the pattern. Now if I replace this with star, I get the star pattern. Getting it? How it is done. So you have to understand the loop iterations, then automatically things fall into place. Okay. Now if I want to draw the reverse triangle. So reverse triangle. This one. Now how to do? So simple, I'll give you a simple logic. The outer for loop is for the number of lines. Simple as that. What is the outer for loop for? So yeah, I will be for the number of lines. So how many times lines do I have? 3. So I will be for the number of lines. So what will be i's iteration? And the j is the number of columns. J is number of columns. So in the first iteration, how many columns do I have? Second iteration, how many? And third iteration, how many columns? Same over here. Same over here. See, I, okay, I is for the number of rows. So how many rows am I having? And j is for the number of columns. So how many columns? Okay, well, things are pretty simple. So if I had, let's say, this arrangement, if I had this arrangement, if I had this arrangement, how many rows, how many columns? So I would go from 1, 2, 3, j would go from 1, 2, 3, right? I would go from 1, 2, 3, and j would also go from 1, 2, 3. Simple logic. Okay. But now here, I want I to be 1, 2, 3, correct? But j should be the first iteration 1, second iteration 2, second iteration 3. So here, if my for loop is like this, I equal to 1, I less than equal to 3, I plus plus. Yeah, Aryan? Yes, you there? Yes, you there, Aryan? So here I goes to 1, 2, 3, j goes to 1, 2, 3. Perfect? Okay, but here now in this straight triangle, I goes from 1 to 3, and j in the first iteration has 1. So it will not go till 3, it will go till I, right? So I is 1, to goes to column 1. I is 2, second column 2. I is 3, third column 3, correct? So here you will just inverse the I. So in the first column, how many? In the first column, how many stars? 3. So I can also say I 1, 2, 3 same as I equal to 3, I greater than equal to 1, and I minus minus.
And I minus minus.
So this will also go 3 times. Now I will say start from where? 1 and go to less than equal to I. I is 3. So in the first column 1, 2, 3. Then I becomes 2. Then 1, 2, 2. Third column I becomes 1. Then 1.
Yes.
So if I want to inverse the stars, what I'll have to do is I equal to 3. I greater than equal to 1. I minus minus, and j will be the same. Got it? Okay. Now if I tell you that I want you to print this in this format, I don't want you to print 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. I want to print the conventional numbers. Let's say I want you to print this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. How will you print this now? So first you should visualize the pattern in your mind. So pattern is like this: I equal to 1, I equal to 1, I less than equal to 3, plus plus. Pattern, you have got the pattern. And now instead of displaying star, what I want to display? Numbers. So what I'll do is I'll take an integer k also, start it with 1, and once I display the k, I'll increment it. So this is called as post increment. What is this called as? You display and you increment. You display and you. So this will display me. Okay. What if I would use the plus?
So the last display k becomes 7.
Yeah, for the last display the k will become 7. So if you display printf over here percentage dk, it will display you 7. It will display you 7. You display the okay. What if I would use plus plus before? Yes, first it will increment and then display. First it will increment and then it will display. Okay, this is called your pre-increment. What is this called as? And if I do it afterward, it is called as post increment. Okay. What if I now say a equal to 5, j equals to 4, and k equals to 1, and I try to write this answer also. And I try to do answer equals to plus plus I multiply by plus plus j. What is the answer? Getting it? Okay. Now if I do this, is that practically correct? If I try to do this, Okay, now if track simultaneously. Okay. Now if I do this, what is the answer? What will it be? 20, right? Because we are post incrementing the value of I, and then so after I have taken the value of I, it is incrementing afterwards. So it will take the existing value of I, which is 5, multiply with the existing value of j, which is 4. But now the current value of I and j is 6 and 5. So if I do the current value display, it will be 6 and 5. It has incremented by 1. Okay. So I'll give you some patterns to solve. You can start solving those patterns. Okay, very interesting. Pattern programming is very important to build your logic. Okay. So then today we can start with arrays. What is an array? Array is continuous memory location. What is an array? Continuous memory location. So an array has indexes to store the number. Now how many slots are there here? Six. So what is the size of the array now? An array is homogeneous. So if an array of integer will only store array of, okay. So what? And then let's take the array name as ARR. And what is the size of the array? 6. Okay. And now what are the indexes of these arrays now? Array index always starts from 0. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. An array has a base address. Okay. Every array will have a base address. So 1000. The base address of the array. And now if I tell that integer ARR of 0 is 10, where will 10 go to? Like if I store the if I store the values, ARR of 1 I want 20, ARR of 2 I want 30, ARR of 3 I want 40. So where will this go store in? Values will go over here. So okay, let's put the values with blue color. So 10, 20, 30, and 40, blah blah. Now in this screen, if we are learning array, we have to master 7 things, understand 7 things. This is the first. Second, third is the number pair of square brackets. Fourth is this. Fifth is this. Sixth is this. And seventh is this. So now can you identify all these 7 things and let me know? Now can you highlight these 7 things for me? What is one? What is so one is the data type of the array. Name of the array. Third is how many pairs of square brackets are there? How many pairs of square bracket. One. That is called as dimension. That is called as what? So this is a 1D array. This is a, and 4 is the size for the length, whatever you call. 5 is the indexes starting with 0. Always starts with 0. Index always starts with 0 in an array. Okay, and 6 values, and 7 is the base address. And arrays are of reference type. Remember this. Arrays are of, I will explain this when I am doing functions. I will explain this line when we are doing function. Just remember this line. Mark it somewhere. Park it somewhere. Arrays of what type? We have two type, value type and reference type. What do we have? So array come under which category? Array. Yeah, array will come under the reference type. And value type, reference type we will study when we are doing the topic of functions. Okay. So here I have declared the array and I have initialized the array. So it has taken me 5 lines to declare and initialize the array, correct? If I want to do it faster, I can do it on one line also, integer arr, and directly I can give the values in square in curly brackets. Getting it? So directly you can put the value. So here, as you have given the number of values, no need to give the size. Size is not required. It will automatically take size as, automatically it will pick the size as 4. So once you are giving, when you are declaring and initializing the array on the same line, no need to give the length of the array. Okay. Okay, but we will not always follow this because this is user defined values, right? This is hard coded values. Programmer has defined these values, so we will not always use this. We will most of the time accept the values from the user. So if I say accept 5 numbers and store them in the array, so you will take the array and the 5 numbers you will accept from the user. So for that, will you do this style of programming? That this also is taken by the programmer, right? These values are also specified by the programmer. So I want to accept values from the user. Then what do I do? I take a I, okay, and run a for loop from the indexes. What is the starting index? 0, and last index is the last index. Okay, you can just say less than the size, less than the, and this loop will run now 5 times, correct? So if I print a message over here, printf enter a number. If I print a message enter a number, where do you think, how many times will this message be displayed? And each time, what is the value of I in the first iteration? 0. So I will say scanf, and whatever number the user enters, let's say user enters 18. The user enters 18. So I want to put 18 at 0 index. How will I put that? Percentage D and ARR of which index? I index. Getting it? So this loop will run 5 times. It will ask me for 5 numbers, and I will put each number in the index of I. So as the value of I is changing, so when the first iteration it is 0, it will go in the 0th index. Second iteration, first index, second index, third index, fourth index, fifth index, right? So this will populate my array taking use value from the user. Okay, now I want to perform some operations on that array. So let's say now I have these size array 5 and 50, and I want to perform some operation on the array. I want to find a sum of all the elements of the array. So how will we do that now? How will we do that? Finding sum of the elements of the array. So for array, try to use a separate fresh for loop initially. Later on, once we are expertise, then we can try to reduce the for loops. But in the beginning, try to use a fresh for loop for each task. So this for loop was to accept the elements of an array, right? Now to display the elements of an array, again I will use a fresh for loop, and that will be the same type. What will be that? What will be the for loop? Same for I equals to 0, I less than 5, and I plus plus. And what will I do? I'll take a sum variable, initialize sum equal to 0, and what will add to the sum? Plus equal to ARR of I, not I. I will add the index, and then you will printf the, after the loop breaks, you will printf the percentage d comma sum, right? So let's do this at least to get some idea. So let's try to declare and initialize the array at the very same line. So now what is the, how many elements are there in this array? 3. Okay. So printf, if I want to printf 20, what will I do? 1. So this will print me 20. What will this print me? 20. Okay, if I want to print the entire array, then no, this ARR will not work. In Java it does, it won't work in, it doesn't work over here. So if you just say printf percentage d and ARR, it will not work. In C it will not work. I think it will display the reference of that array, the address of that array. So how will we do it? We'll use the integer I and do for I equals to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus, and printf percentage d slash t will give a space and ARR of I. So this will display 10 space 20 space 30. Okay. If you want to find sum of that, then now if you want to accept that from the user, then no need to take from the programmer, but we have to give the size now 3, and we are expecting 3 numbers. So we will say printf enter a number. Will I say enter 3 numbers, or will I say enter a number? Why not enter 3 numbers? Yeah, so if I want to say enter 3 numbers, I'll put it outside, right? So this will run only once, and I will say scan a percentage d, and I am putting it in where, and now once I have got this, I want to display them. Okay. And now if I want to display them, I will say percentage d slash t and remove the and. So this will accept the final display. 10, 11, 12. Okay. And the sum of the elements, then again copy this fresh for loop, initialize or declare a variable sum, initialize it to 0. For every task use a fresh for loop, and what to do over here? Sum plus equal to I, and at the end to what? Printf percentage d and sum. Put on the new line. Okay, you can say sum is I say 10, 20, 30. What happened? Okay, we forgot to remove the round brackets. Okay. And now enter the two numbers 10, 20, 30, and it is showing some as 60. Getting it? So tomorrow we'll continue the discussion of